All right, welcome to Wednesdays with Wyatt. This is your host, Wyatt Elke. This week I'm joined by Jacob Wilson. How's it going, Jacob?
Not bad, Wyatt. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
No problem.
How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. Just did a lot of work.
That's
as
good.
Usual.
Yeah, me too. I worked on that cardboard boat for physics just for it all to go to knots.
Ours is done, so we'll win.
Yeah, I guess
maybe
next week we'll see. We'll see how it goes next Monday.
Yeah.
But so this week on the show, we're gonna have a little talk about North Korea.
Yes, North Korea, the best Korea.
Yes, you could say that. So recently, obviously, there's been a lot of news coverage. Kim Jong-un nullified the peace treaty, or not the peace treaty, the armistice, I should say, between North Korea and South Korea. Which, does that technically mean they're at war again?
Yeah, that technically does, because the war was never ended. Like, it was just an armistice. So. Yeah, now that that's over, I don't know. It's pretty tough to tell what's going to happen next.
Yeah, definitely. So I will definitely be doing some speculation about that, I think. Yeah. All we can really do. So the timeline's sort of in North Korea with, like, leaders. It started with Kim Il-sung, right?
Yep.
And he took control and then obviously died.
Yeah, back in 1994, I believe.
Yep, and then Kim Jong-il took over for... how long? I think until he died last year, right?
Probably like 16 years.
Yep,
right?
That sounds about right.
17, I don't know.
16, 17, right in there, and then obviously now Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il's son, is taking over.
Yep, Kim Il-sung's son. What's his name?
Kim Il-sung's grandson.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un.
His name's definitely a mouthful. All the names, putting them in a row.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. But so, I guess also, just today, we received word about a cyber attack.
Yeah.
North Korea suspected in...
Yeah, that's what it looks like. They engaged in a couple of DDoS attacks against some South Korean banks, which means they just overloaded their servers with a bunch of requests. And this isn't the first time that's happened. It's actually happened... in 2009 and also in 2011. So that's another sign of the increasing animosity towards South Korea.
Yeah, and I think obviously they were at war. They were, in an armistice. For a long time they must have. Obviously there's some animosity between the two, and there always has been. I think since way back when, North Korea versus South Korea, and. This just really goes to show. And you always hear North Korea as, you hear about the awful conditions living there is like.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, I mean, they can't even afford to feed their own people a lot of the time. And if you say anything bad about the dictatorship, they'll send you to an internment camp, which is, they're basically as bad or worse than the concentration camps back during the World War II.
Yeah, exactly.
Situation.
And then lots of people, try and get out of North Korea, they try
to escape. And if you're caught trying to escape, not only will they punish you horribly, they will punish all of your family members that they can get to. So there's a lot of incentive to not leave, but
and even if you do leave, they still punish your family members anyway.
Yes, it's not the best country at the moment.
No, definitely not. But I get Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Rodman. I guess he visited there recently too, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, strangely, he's kind of like our diplomat there in a way.
I guess you could say that. I mean, Kim Jong-un is such a fan of basketball. Like, hey man.
Yeah, any way we can get in there and get talking to him,
Yeah.
I think it's really a good thing,
Yeah, it's good to try to increase some sort of communication, especially when this country is so inclined to strike out against our allies.
Yeah, and as well threatening us.
Yeah.
Too, with also just recently. This is actually an article from today I'm looking at. They said they were preparing to attack with drones, which people don't think they have. But
I would be surprised if they did have drones, considering how behind their technology is. Because honestly, most of their technology they have for warfare is like the era of World War II, because they haven't had much ability to advance. They've been working
on the atomic bombs.
Yeah, the atomic bombs, and I mean. Like, they've had, like, a couple successful tests, but the thing is, if they wanted to actually nuke somebody, they wouldn't have very much range at all because the warheads they would build are so big that the rockets wouldn't be able to facilitate for that size, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
I mean, if you're worried about North Korea, say, attacking the U.S., like, that wouldn't ever happen because their missiles wouldn't be able to reach all the way over here. And if they did, we have the whole Patriot missile defense system. So, yeah. And if a nuke does land in the U.S. or any of our allied countries that are under our umbrella of protection, we have a policy called the Proportional Defense Plan, in which we would respond with our own nukes, and sooner or later, I mean, they'd be gone, like, which I sincerely hope doesn't happen because of all the loss of life that would cause.
Yeah, I think something's coming to a head slowly. You know.
Yeah,
Definitely. Something will develop eventually, I guess, and then
You know,
I just want to share this quote from Kim Jong-un. It's a great quote. When the drills turn into a battle, the enemies will be made to drink a bitter cup, unable to raise their heads. And then he's stressing the need to destroy the enemies without mercy so that not a single man can survive to sign a document of surrender.
it's wonderful craftsmanship of words.
Yeah,
if I do say so.
He always has some really interesting quotes. So,
So.
Do you think we should intercede or anything in this, or do you think we should just wait it out?
Honestly, I think we should probably wait it out. I mean, honestly, North Korea threatening the world is something that happens at least once a week. So
Yeah,
they're like the kid who sits in the corner of the classroom just like eating glue. But then, you know, it's fine if he's just eating glue by himself. But once he swipes some glue on Sally's hair, man, he's going to the office.
Exactly. I think that's it's a very interesting metaphor, but I think to an extent it definitely does apply. And I think, recently they had that video of basically something that looked like New York burning.
Yeah.
I
heard about that. That is
they're
humorous.
amping up their threats, And I don't think we should necessarily intercede, but I think if the human rights element gets so bad, I think we would have some sort of basis to, send some people in there or something. Like, not necessarily nuke them, but maybe.
Yeah, there's a way to deal with this that wouldn't involve using nukes, and we'd have to take out the leadership though, and the whole population there is so indoctrinated. It would be pretty tough to get it out of their minds, but I mean, honestly, it's a question of what's the right thing to do in the situation.
Yeah.
Just let all those people suffer. Try to do something with our limited resources, but yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for being on the show today. Thanks for talking about North Korea with me.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. And thank you all for listening. Until next time.